Welcome back, everyone. This is my next episode of D-Talk. If this is the first time that you're watching my channel, hi and welcome. If you're a repeat offender, then I'm glad to see you again. I kind of like started this series of like videos where I just wanted to support my friends. I was in a space where I wanted to know where my Black-owned businesses were within my local area. I'm from the Bronx, so I was just kind of like looking out for that information. And in doing so, I started thinking about a variety of my different friends that are in different businesses that have their own entrepreneurial endeavors happening. And I wanted to, sit down and talk to them, show support. I'm so proud of all of them. And just creating the platform of, if we see each other, enough of us in different areas doing a variety of different things, then it'll help with how we see ourselves internally, and just push on and empower the idea of becoming an entrepreneur. So for this week's entrepreneur of the week is my really good friend Mariel. She is the owner of Pink Roots Products. And what I'm so excited about today's talk is because I remember, I don't even know how many years ago it was, when her sister, which is my best friend, told me that, she started her hair care line. So I've seen it from the very beginning. I remember trying the products, and I was really excited about it. So just to see her growth, I just needed to catch up with her for a few minutes and just, talk to her about her business and see what she's up to. So everybody give it up for Miss Mariel Mejia, the owner of Pink Roots Products.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this episode. I'm excited about it. That was a pretty good introduction. It is true. You were definitely there from the beginning, from when I first started kind of making the products. They were very mom and pop-ish looking. I was in college. I didn't know what I was doing at all whatsoever, but I just knew that I was making hair products that were working for my hair. So I wanted to kind of branch out and see if, I could get other people to kind of also see the same results. And they were. So I kind of decided to just kind of take a break at that moment and just finish school, kind of get more funding, kind of get more education, kind of open up my resources pool to just kind of really relaunch the company in a whole new level. So we relaunched back in 2019, so we've been in business for a little bit over a year again, and things have been going pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. It's definitely a different feel than the first time around. Like I said earlier, it was very mom and pop-ish, and now it's a brand. It catches your eye when you see it. We kind of look like one of the big guys, so I'm really excited to see just kind of how it continues to grow.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. So you mentioned that you started in college. What was happening at that time that prompted you to even want to start making your own product? Was there something that you felt like you weren't getting in the market as it was, or was just something you were experimenting with?
So I feel like it was a little bit of both. So when I was in college, I had been perming my hair since I was 9 years old. I'm Dominican. So, in Dominican culture, once you're in your tweens, you start getting your hair permed. It's a coming of age thing. It's crazy. It's a tradition. Yeah. So of course, fast forward, 9 years later, I'm 18, 19 years old or whatever. And my hair is just completely fried. It's up to here, it won't grow, or at least I thought it wouldn't grow. So I was just kind of desperate at that point because I didn't like the way I was looking. I was feeling self-conscious. So I decided that I was going to go natural. I wanted to see what it was about. It was a smaller community back then than what it is now. Yeah, it's completely blown up, the natural hair care industry and the community. So I really had to just kind of rely on YouTube videos and things like that, and kind of learn techniques from other girls. It was their niche at that point. It wasn't as big as it was now. So, but the issue that I found was because I was transitioning, I didn't do a big chop, which is when you cut off all your hair, for those of you who don't know. It's a huge commitment, I didn't want to do that. So I decided to transition. I stopped straightening my hair. I had already stopped relaxing my hair since I was 17. So I had a little bit of the leg up, but I felt like the products just didn't really work for me because they were catered to women who were already curly, if that makes sense. So it's Yeah, it was for women who, were kind of veterans of the game already. So like putting like a super defining product on my hair wasn't gonna work because
Right.
I didn't have anything to define, So I just started making things at home with natural ingredients instead of like fillers and chemicals to actually kind of help me along my journey instead of just kind of holding a style for like a day maximum and then having my hair look like a bird's nest again,
Yeah.
the next day. So that's really kind of what pushed me to get started.
No, I can totally sympathize with that and identify with that because that was also my natural hair process. Also, I've been natural now like 10 years. So even when I was just like testing like even your line, like that was like the one thing at the time that I could actually get results from. Like I remember doing like a perm rod set, and that was like the first time I actually had a bomb one, and I felt like one of the YouTube girls, like, yes,
Yeah.
I have that look. So you made me feel like that. So thanks. And then I even got like a really good like wash and go. And for like the longest time, like I could never like do it. I'm like, this is a wash and no. Like whoever said that this is gonna work wasn't gonna happen. But I was
Yeah.
actually successfully able to achieve like those two looks. So thanks, like great job. And, like it did because although I had like at that point, I don't even remember how long I was natural, but like I definitely did have like some pieces were still like from the relaxed part. So like I did notice now that you mention it now, I was like, oh yeah, that really did like help and make a difference. So you did a really good job. So how long did it
Thank
take you
you.
to like really perfect the formula? Because I know I'm aware of at least like 2 times you may have done it. How many times did you actually have to like refine it, fine
So
tune?
I think when I first started it, which was back in 2015, which is when I was in college, and it was mom and pop-ish.
Mhm.
I tested that out for like maybe like a couple of months, like a year. But what I found with that original formula was that it would like because it was only oil at first. It was just a bunch of oils and butters mixed together, and it was pink still at that time, but it was too oily. So, it would kind of like get on your forehead here and feel, like kind of clog your pores and stuff.
Right.
And it would also melt on the way to people. And then they would have to like re-solidify it and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, this is not going to work, on a bigger scale. Nobody wants to receive a product that's like,
Melted.
half its texture. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So I kind of went back to the drawing board, and that took me like 2 to 3 years because
Okay.
now I had to incorporate water into the formula so that it was, and as you know, water and oil don't mix. So these were things that I had to kind of take into account for. And it took a couple of trials. So I would say for the formulas that we have now, it took like 2 to 3 years to kind of really test those out, passing them out to family and friends, coworkers, and things like that to just kind of really see what was working and what wasn't working, and also to just kind of test that the formula was stable as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, it took a while.
Awesome. Well, hey, you stuck at it and you've been able to like really grow your brand and really change it from a mom and pop to a brand. How did you come up with Pink Roots anyway? Like how did you come up with the name? What
So I
did it
came from
stand
the with
for?
the I came up with the name because of the color, and the reason why I colored it pink was just because I was honestly messing around.
Okay.
So while I was making the products and I was using YouTube University, I saw that a couple of soap makers would use like different powders to make their soaps a different color, like turmeric even, which is I know is like a regular seasoning for a lot of people in their house, and they probably don't even know that they can color things with it.
Yeah.
They would get like a yellow color, and then I came across alkanet root powder, which is like a really deep, dark plum brown-ish kind of a color.
Okay.
And when you let this ingredient sit with oil for like a week, just sit together, the oil takes the color. And then that's what I use to make the products pink. Just literally just like a couple of drops and it's pink because it mixes with the natural white color that the product is. So it gives you a really pretty pink color. So that's really where the name came from, Pink Root Products, because of the alkanet root, and then the pink because they were pink. So yeah.
Well, I love how it all came together. That was so cute. They've
Thanks.
always smelled so good too. That's what I've also liked about it. So it was like, like a nice like fruity kind of like scent, but kind of floral too, at least to me.
Yeah. So we use just essential oils. We don't use any fragrances, no parabens, anything like that. But specifically, no fragrances. If you look at the back on our labels, it says like rose essential oil, vanilla essential oil. Those are the two ingredients that we use to make it smell nice.
Very nice. Cool. So you started with your curling cream. Like, how many products do you have now, and how much bigger do you envision your line becoming? Like, do you want to cross into like skincare, or do you think like hair care is going to be your main thing right now?
So right now we only have 3 products. So we have styling products. We wanted to kind of just start out with kind of like sections. So, like when you're doing wash day, it's, shampoo and conditioner, and then you get out and you do your leave-in conditioner and your styling products and things like that. So we kind of wanted to do it in phases. So right now we just have the 3 styling products, and we're currently working on other things, as far as like things that you might want to do in the shower or pre-shower and things like that. So I kind of see us growing into, your full wash day necessities kind of a thing, like your shampoo, your conditioner, your deep conditioner, your oil, and things like that. But I think in the future, like a couple of years down the line, it would be pretty cool to also do skincare. I just really kind of want to focus on wellness, especially wellness for females. So for women, I don't want to say females. I know that's like a thing online right now.
I know. What isn't a thing online right now? That's
exactly.
tons of stuff. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. Well, I am so proud of you, like, to see, because I noticed on one of your latest posts, you had put that you were like featured in Sheen magazine. Was that correct?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? How did that come about? Like, how does one receive information like that?
So that was actually really exciting. I was super excited about that one. That came about just from, kind of the people that we have working with us, who are awesome and kind of help us out in different areas of like the business development part. And pretty much, someone that we were working with kind of came up to me and said, hey, this might be like a pretty good feature for you. And that's kind of how it came about. And I was really excited about it because it came at a time where, with the whole Black Lives Matter thing and all of that. So to kind of be able to have the opportunity to be included in a magazine that is all about Black beauty and Black businesses and fashion and all that stuff was really, really awesome.
Nice. Yes. And congratulations again. So I'm guessing you've had like a positive result from like the BLM, like you've gotten a lot more supporters and more notoriety, for the lack of a better word, right?
Yeah, I think so, because like, we've always worked with, like our employees are predominantly Black or Latinx. So, we've always been about that. Before the movement came about, it's Black owned.
Yeah.
It was always Black owned since 2015. And then the people who work with us are predominantly of our community. So, it was really cool though to kind of get that recognition during that time. And I'm sure there was a bunch of other people as well, who got recognized. So it was just cool to kind of be in the mix.
Nice. So do you feel like you've kind of like made it now, or do you feel like you're not quite there yet?
Definitely not.
Okay.
There's so like many other levels to reach. I feel like these are kind of our baby years. Mm-hmm. And we're just kind of really focusing on getting our brand out there and kind of just getting people to recognize us even more. The minute you see our logo, someone's like, like I recognize that, like that feels familiar. So we're really in our baby years right now. We haven't hit our prime, in my opinion, but we'll get there.
No, I know you will. Like, I've seen just like thinking about it now, I'm like, okay, that was like it kind of feels like it was a long time ago, but then again, at the same time, it doesn't feel like that much time has passed. So you've remained, consistent thus far. You did mention earlier that you did take like a little hiatus, like from the brand at the very beginning. So like what I guess motivated you, or what pushed you to like get back into it and just to remain like going down that path?
I think what really motivated me to do it was that I had already started. I don't really like to not finish things that I've already started. You know, like it feels kind of like a failure. So it's
Mhm.
like, you know, it may not have worked out then because I really didn't know what I was doing. You know, I had no idea about marketing, about business plans, about scaling, about I didn't know any of that stuff. But I knew that I had already embarked on this journey and I should just see it through because why not? You know, so
Yeah.
that was really kind of the motivation behind that. And then I know that as I was kind of on my hiatus, a bunch of other brands popped up all over the place. Like
Yeah.
literally, like there's hundreds of brands all over the place now. But, you
Oh,
know, like
yeah.
I said, I had already started. So, you know, they're going to pop up no matter what.
Yeah. This is
So,
true. This is
yeah.
true.
So,
And I remember I even try, listen, I give it to you and to all those that are able to make, you know, handcrafted products because I, you know, very briefly entertained that and it was just like epic fail. So I give it to you. And I just remember I was like, I don't know how these people do it. Like this just isn't for me. Like it was a lot to say the least.
yeah. Yeah.
So I give it to you for doing that. So like what's next for you now?
I think what's next is really just kind of continuing like the marketing aspect of the brand, just kind of continuing to push our name out there, push our brand out there as much as we possibly can, and just hopefully scaling from there, continuing to expand as far as like our product line and stuff. But definitely for sure for the near future, it's just about kind of like branding, getting us out there. So that's really kind of what's next.
Awesome. So for anybody that's out there that, you know, maybe thinking about starting their own hair care line, what kind of advice or motivation would you give them?
I think for anyone who's starting any kind of like beauty or wellness line, it's really important to focus on a problem that you yourself have experienced because you're going to know your market and your audience better than anybody else. You know, making something that you've only, you know, experienced once or twice here, you know, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to kind of grasp, you know, your head around it, for lack of a better word. So I think that for anyone who's out there trying to start something where you're like handcrafting and making things, it's really important to do it because you've experienced it and it's something that has affected you personally. You know, there's a lot of women out there who have been on the same journey as me with the whole natural hair stuff, going natural, kind of changing your relationship with your hair, you know, that you've had since you grew up. So I just think that that's really the key when you're an entrepreneur or trying to do something bigger than yourself. It's got to be something you know.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree. And where can people purchase your products and how can they find you online, social media?
So our website is www.pinkrootproducts.com. And our Instagram is the same thing, Pink Root Products. That's our Instagram handle. And then if people want to find me personally, my Instagram is Mariel Mejia, which is MarielMejia. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. Well, thanks again, Mariel, for sitting down with me. It's so good to hear you know, all your success. I know this is just the beginning and I just can't wait for you to be like a household brand and I walk into Target
Fingers
or
crossed.
or any of the Sally Beauties and I can see like your leave-in and your curling cream and all your products there. Again, I'm super proud of you. Like to see you grow into this amazing person. And mind you, people, I think I met you when I was 15. So maybe you were like 8 or 9 at the time. So like I've seen this young woman
Yeah.
grow up, and she's an entrepreneur now. She's balancing home and work life. So yeah, if she can do it, guys, so can you. And I'll see you next week for my next interview with my next entrepreneur. So take it
Awesome.
easy, guys. Bye.
Thank you.